So what exactly is compression? To understand compression, you need to know a little bit of theory about what sound is. So sound is vibrations in the air. That's all that sound is. If you go right down to the nitty-gritty, all that sound is waveforms bouncing about in the air. So I don't mean to take you back to maths or physics, but a lot of you might get PTSD when I show you this, a sine wave. This is essentially a audio wave as well, okay? It's basically sound. What compression does is it sets limits on the upper and lower to this sound wave here. It basically eliminates the top and the bottom part there. So then the graph would actually turn into something a little bit more like this. That's what compression does, rather than having these parts here. I'm going to get rid of that now because I don't like feeling like a high school teacher. But hopefully you can help to understand what compression is at this point. This can be useful because it will help eliminate sharp clicks or sharp noises, so it can help you balance out your audio. One thing that I'd recommend you to do after watching this video is just relax, do whatever you do, and watch a documentary, a vlog. One that I would recommend is Good Mythical Morning, because you'll see that the two characters, or not the two hosts of that show, they're quite enthusiastic when they perform the show. And you'll notice that a lot of the times they shout, they laugh, but they also get quite quiet just to an average talking level. Listen to the audio in these clips and you'll see that, or you'll hear that the audio stays relatively the same. It doesn't get too much louder and it doesn't get too quiet. It's always at a comfortable level for you to hear. So that's what compression is. It helps you level out your project. This can be useful to help bring down those harsher noises that you might want to be reduced, but you don't want to bring down the level of the overall clip. It can also be used to bring up the levels if something's a little bit too quiet. It helps bring up those levels so it's a little bit easier to hear. The one thing that compression can do is it also rises something called the noise floor, or the ground noise. What this essentially is, it's like a hum that's sort of constantly there. Your ground noise can be impacted by a number of factors, but we're just going to stick to compression now. So just be wary of that. If you compress something too much, it'll sound quite hissy and not too good. That's where we get into something called a noise gate. What a noise gate does is it doesn't allow any audio through after a certain decibel which you select. Right now, try and think of what we're doing on like a big gauge, okay? We've got audio and we've got my voice coming out here, you've got the clicks of the chair and the cup up here. Down here you have the very faint noises, the dog next door or an aeroplane outside, something like that. You can set a noise gate so that it only lets you hear the sounds that's up here, that's at the higher decibels, and basically negates the stuff down here which is, it's quiet enough for you to hear and it ruins the project, sort of thing. So yeah, that's where we can use noise gates, trying to eliminate the ground floor or the ground noise. Keep on calling it ground floor. I've not explained it the best here, but I hope that you get a brief understanding on what compression is, and I highly recommend you to experiment with it and get used to it. It's a difficult thing. This, along with EQ, is difficult to try and grasp the concept of, but once you get it, it is a powerful tool, especially in filming, because it helps even out your noise, even out your sounds, so that if you're doing documentaries, if you're doing filming, all your audio is quite level and not 1 minute too quiet, the next minute too loud.